been the Viego, the Lee Sin that was picked away. So the Ahri pick early doesn't actually get anything to give kill pressure on the Chovy in the mid lane. And the Scion, of course, on the top side of the map is, you know, it's going to be very hard pressed to actually set anything up for the Graves. But, you know, for heavy dives on the bottom side, where you can juggle some aggro, chip away at those health bars with the Ezreal a little bit, maybe we could see On Fleek actually get a little bit of control there, push that Jinx out of farm, and force Gen G to play a much slower Jinx game than we saw last game. I don't think we'll be seeing Jinx pick it up 10 plates this time around. I think HLE Esports correctly identified that the way that Gen G won this previous game was around ruler killing structures and getting massive gold by PvEing, and so they take lane priority in the bottom side of the map. Good adaptation here, really love to see that in the best of 3. Gen G, though, still the stronger team on paper, and are favorites to take this next game.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if HLE's new draft can help them actually challenge the #2 team currently in the LCK in Gen G. And yeah, I'm just happy to also see Ezreal getting some more play. Feels like the 80 carry pool. We have gone from Jinx, Aphelios almost every single game to now the Kai'Sa's coming in. And now Jhin has fallen off a little bit, but we see Ezreal every once in a while. So I'm just glad that we have at least more than, you know, one other option that's not Jhin for outside of Jinx, Aphelios.
Yeah, and it was for a while, like, a lot of teams were like, well, I'm just not going to play with the Jinx, so I'm going to ban that in the first phase. And then occasionally there were teams that leave the Jinx open and be like, but I'll just take Aphelios, haha, because I got a really strong pick like Hecarim, and it didn't work out either. But now we're starting to see the return of Karma. This week in particular, it's been really nice to see Karma Ezreal, Karma Caitlyn. So these Jinx picks, when they are left open, can be punished. We'll see how this goes, because also, you know, nameplates and all that, and we've seen Ruler actually end up winning lanes like this when he's got an engaged support like Nautilus on his side.
Yep. And they are hiding in the brush, waiting for this as Vista and On Fleek, they're gonna spot it, but now it's 3v3. Some fighting in the jungle. Two mid laners still in the mid lane, so it's straight up 3v3. And a reset nearly comes in, but it's stolen away by On Fleek, as Peanut is not quite able to land the Q into Smite, and now Ruler's gonna have to flash away as well.
That's a massive grab on Ruler's flash. Heal and flash down for Ruler, and you know, On Fleek is able to steal the camp. So huge win here, in fact, for HLE Esports, as he walks back on a ward.
Yeah. And On Fleek is like, I mean...
He has level 2. He's quick drawn.
Oh, but Chovy is making his way over. As with the fear coming down, that is just going to be a dead Graves. As First Blood is actually given over to Chovy in the mid lane.
I have never seen a lead crumpled up into a tightly packed ball and then 3-point shot into a waste bracket faster than what we just saw.
Yeah.
I have never seen it before. That was a speed run. That might actually be, that one might be the holding the world record for a while.
No.
That was, like, this was a really cool play from Peanut as well. Like, we have to give him credit because he walks onto a ward, but then this mid laner comes over, he baits On Fleek into the quick draw over the wall. And as this ends up being a Smite fight, right? Vista checks this, he's got good star sense, checks it, gets the big hit, and then this becomes a Smite fight, right? The Ezreal has a lot of power in this type of duel in the early game because you can just continually do damage. In the War of Attrition, you're not going to win this as Gen G, so you have to leave, but Peanut has to look for the Smite. And On Fleek's like, yeah, nice try. And then he flashes here to get Ruler's flash. So, you know, ends up being pretty nice for them. But then, it's like at this point, like, just take your Gromp, take your level lead, and be happy. But no, we have to get greedy. We got a quick draw over the wall, and like, he did not check his mid laner's position on the map. He did not check where Chovy was.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that Chovy had prio, and also he was in the enemy jungle on vision. So once he saw Peanut coming back, the answer should have been, okay, I gotta get the hell out of here, rather than let's go over the wall and see what I can do, and you know, try to have some fun and trade. No, like you just gotta get out of there. And it has to be communicated quickly that lanes are leaving. But a lot of it fell apart, and as you very succinctly put it, It was crumpled into a little bit of a ball and thrown in the wastebasket.
So tightly packed. So
Yeah.
At such high speed.
It was very efficient.
What if he just killed the Gromp instead? It's like, wow, like Peanut's passing over there, like.
Or just take the blue and then just 3-buff him.
Yeah.
Say, okay, like, they see me. Okay, I just got to get out of here. You're up a level on the enemy jungler, just go farm, you know?
Sometimes it's okay to be like a little bit ahead and just walk away from that moment.
Yeah, something I've noticed as Doran has taken some big trades up here on the top side, and the Camille has had some fun into the Scion in the past as well. Something I noticed is that some of the lower level teams, as this is a lot of damage coming in, a huge trade in the top side is not allowing me to make this point. We do have Peanut up in this top lane as Doran goes in and he goes down. Dudu just going to bait him into the fight, and the solo kill will be taken this time by Dudu.
That was a Doran move right there. You can see his face on the camera as well, the little head tilt of frustration. Flashes traded. And he ends up giving an early kill to a Scion. In a matchup where he has, at this early stage, a little bit of control and has the kill pressure, he looked for the kill with it. But no longer will he actually be as relevant as he was after this moment. Man, it's just been an interesting early game. You know, we asked for more action, and I think we might have monkey's pawed this one a little bit, Val.
Yeah, absolutely.
As, look, Doran, he has grasp, and he wants to go for this play. He's hoping Dudu's going to chase him a little bit further away from the turret. But Peanut's coming up. Peanut's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not there. Like, look at Peanut stop immediately and be like, if that was a solo queue game, that's Peanut typing right there. Like, no, 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 no. Yeah, boy, you know? Which is probably exactly what Peanut said. Yo, what are you doing?
It's like a little bit of a miscalculation. Probably thought he had enough for at least one more Q. Even with one more first Q from the Camille, I don't even know if that's enough damage to kill the Scion in that spot. But yeah, just very overzealous. Extremely overzealous as OnFleek and Karis roaming as a duo. Pretty nice stuff. But yeah, I mean, the best teams and players, they will take the small leads and they will make them into larger ones. Some of the less best players, sometimes they try to take the entire lead at once.
Yes.
And they make
choke,
mistakes and they
choke
overstep. And yeah. Take small bites.
Take small bites with those leads.
Chew thoroughly.
Yep.
Yep.
And you bite off more than you could chew.
Avoid choking.
Yes. And this is so unfortunate for Doran because we talked about how he might be the best top laner in the LCK. You know, there's a few that he's competing with at the moment, like Rascal that you mentioned earlier as well. And you know, if Rascal was on a stronger team, he was on Gen G last year, we could be having this conversation in a different way. But he's had so many inconsistent moments like this where he's actually just gotten a little bit ahead of himself that makes us wonder, you know, even though Gen G's a more successful team, is Rascal better than Doran? You know, your mileage may vary depending on who you ask, but so it has not been the best year for Doran's laning, as Lehens is like still out here, but he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, totally fine. Peanut is mid, trying to help push this one out. Potentially get a really nice back here right before the Rift Herald. But OnFleek and Samdi making their way into the enemy blue. They will take this away once again.
Very successful.
Yeah, that's probably what you should have done the first time as well. Take it and leave.
We you know, we're doing them dirty a little bit here. It was a good first play, nice smite, punish, and I mean, remember this is like going back to that moment. HLE Esports checked the bush and then reacted very well, but like they didn't even know necessarily when they started that play where Gen G was, and they still turned it into a trade up, which is why it feels so bad. Like everything went so well until it didn't. And Rift Herald is spawning, has spawned in fact, and this is going to be a huge turning point for the side of HLE Esports potentially, because they have bottom control right now. They have mid prio. They should be able to guarantee this, but need to, of course, rotate over there to grab it.
Okay, this is a Ezreal who just jumps over and is totally fine. It's part of why you pick Ezreal. He can carry really well in the late game. By the way, he is 21 CS ahead.
Yeah.
As we are speaking.
This is what happens with the Karma matchups, Ezreal in particular. And like, you know, Samdi was part of the reason why they were able to win that fight in the jungle and push everybody away, because Ezreal things, and then same situation here. They did take the Drake, but not actually the Rift Herald. So with the prio they had here bottom side, they forced a reaction out of Peanut, He was very nearby, but instead of doing the Rift Herald top side, they decided they're going to take a Drake. Now they can reset for this Rift Herald rotation. As you can see here, Ezreal staying bottom side now, but a fast rotation for Vista. This back deny would be massive. I think it misses. Yeah.
I'll stop the back at least.
Yeah. As HLE Esports here, setting up slightly faster.
We do have Darn, Peanut, and Ruler on top of this objective.
Yeah, I didn't realize Ruler was actually in there, so
yeah.
I spoke a lie.
Yeah, all 5 members of Gen G are in here. The Scuttle Crab at least going to go the way of On Fleek as they smite it down, and now they're looking for a little bit of an engage, but that is a Scion in the front line. Gen G don't seem to care, but the charm here onto Lehens. He's in a little bit of trouble as here comes the train, not going to land, and Lehens is still alive. Even gets the depth charge off as in goes Chovy in onto 2, but immediately has to go out as a very down and dirty fight we are getting into. Will anyone actually go down in this one? The answer will be no.
Nope. Very crazy fight here. I do not actually know who secured the eye. I believe it was Peanut. No, it was actually Ruler who got it in the end with his positioning there. So he does end up picking this up. Gen G take it away. And they get out of dodge. I thought the ultimate was really well placed for Chovy because he was in such a cool spot. He ults in, hits the fear, then flashes over the wall where he's actually safe and then could re-engage or continue to do damage while being uncontested. No one can actually follow him and get in there. The Samdi needs to be a little bit more forward. So well played here from Gen G. Going to pick up what is so important, this gold, especially for the Jinx to pick up since she had such a hard time into the Karma. Ezreal. So shoring up some of that gold difference for her is going to be the name of the game. She headed straight to the top side of the map. We'll be looking for that plate gold immediately.
Yeah. And it's important for the team too because Gen G, they have gotten by in the top side after that little bit of a botch of a trade where Dorn did go down. And also, as you already mentioned, the Ezreal and Karma are extremely far ahead down there. So other than Chovy, everybody is hurting a little bit here in this Gen G roster. So gonna get a plate. And that one is essentially for free. Samdi is down on the bottom side. Peanut will back over the wall, and it looks like Gen G are being matched a bit up on the top side.
Yeah, Ruler can't actually get this drop here. So Samdi's like, wow, you guys all went up there? Like all of you?
Oh, you're on vision here on Fleek. On a ward, and now on the ground. Down he goes. Peanut gonna pick that one up. Charm does go into Chovy, but this is Vex.
Yeah, and...
wow, dodges everything. There's a lot of damage still as the Q comes out. Chovy does not have blast, but he's able to turn it around. Underneath the turret, he lands the fear and immediately blows up the Ahri.
Just Chovy things. Now, during all of this, Samdi picked up several plates here in the bottom lane, so this is not a huge swing of gold going all into Gen G's pockets here. HLE Esports do pick up their fair share, and Samdi picking up solo plates on the bottom side of the map here, so a ton of gold goes into Ezreal here. And yes, Chovy outplayed Karst there in the mid lane. He was super patient and was able to get that kill in the end. Extremely well played. I'm really looking forward to that replay. But beyond that, Gen G rotated top, committed, didn't get the Rift Herald charge they were looking for, was defended, and had Chovy not actually gotten that kill in the mid lane, this would have been an amazing setup here for HLE Esports with all the plates that Samdi picks up. So we're going to go all the way back here too. This is also another good thing that Gen G got, obviously, is the on-fleek ward. Catch, more like on ward if you ask me, but over here, the dodges are sick from Karus. Knows Chovy here, barely staying alive, and then turns on him with his ult, recasts it. Just as his ult came up, by the way, his ult was like 3 seconds away when we started that replay. Oh, that's a killer moment for Karus too. Like, that's a buzz kill if I've ever seen one. After his dodges and everything.
It's pretty rough, you know, because the lane that Gen G had something going on in, now they are extremely far ahead in, you know, and I believe that Chovy even had his Luden's Echo completed before that, whereas Karus did not. So it's a big item difference. He's able to turn it. Vex has huge burst damage, as we know, and now it's a 2-0 Chovy, who is going full damage build, right? So
And it's 20 seconds away from this plate expiring.
Oh man, and he's 5 levels above Vista here. Vista has 0 chance to get out of that one as Samdi desperate to try to trade it back, and he just gives another one to Chovy. 4-0 now.
Chovy's Vex is the best in the LCK. Heard it from me first, man. He is so good at it.
5-0 maybe? No.
No, not quite.
Not quite, but he landed.
He landed. When you get the Shadow Surge reset, man, you go for those, you take those opportunities. As this happens, as the Rift Herald crashes through just at 15 seconds before the plates fall off, so Ruler picks up that extra gold. Now he's got his Kraken Slayer. Big turnaround in this game for Gen G. So many kills going over the Vex. Doran. Yeah.
These two in the top lane are playing their own game. Darn nice positioning behind the turret. Saying, well, you can't kill me back here, as maybe the Ezreal can. It is on pace as... Ooh, what?
Just a little bit to the right.
The Camille was flying in the sky, so it kind of went under her.
Yeah, just under her feet.
Yeah, that's a great play by Camille.
Just levitation is the answer to the ult from Ezreal. Just meditate.
Uh-oh.
On fleek, man.
Not like this. Well, maybe like this. 5-0 Chovy.
Oh.
And, sometimes, we talk about all the win conditions. We talk about the drafts. We talk about, Hama Life did a really good job. They turned around their draft. I love what they did to adapt. And then Chovy goes 5-0. And it's like, what? I thought we were going to have a game.
On Fleek's biggest enemy has been the wards in this game. The first ward that spotted Peanut that caused him to go over the backs on a ward.
He would be so good in this game if there were just no wards.
Yeah, then he's clearing a ward. He gets caught.
Man.
It's a rough time. And the saddest part about this is Hana Life Esports had a winning lane bottom. They got a ton of plates over to Samdi, but this game has become a Chovy game. Like last game was kind of a Chovy game, and he won the war of attrition on POG votes on one side of the game. Anyone can pick it up, but this game is a Chovy game.
No.
Another one.
And Chovy gets the kill too.
Yeah.
So not only did
10
Onfleek,
stacks.
Unfortunately, give himself over again, as we are looking for a bit more. That is a gigantic True Shot Barrage. As Samdi's like, remember I exist.
Doran was also like, remember I exist.
Yeah.
With that play.
Trying to be relevant.
Samdi's like, oh, I do. Well, look, he's trying to bait him in. Question mark, successful question mark?
It's kind of working.
Working question mark?
They are so far down the lane. Thankfully, it is Ahri and Ezreal, so it's very hard to lock down alongside of the Karma, not to mention, as the Everfrost comes in, Ruler in a lot of trouble. No Tom Kens for you. He is going to go down, and Karis will pick up the kill.
Now, the casters call this type of play happy gaming, generally speaking. But it means that the casters are usually having a sad time. because we're trying to explain what's happening and why it's happening and where the comp is strong. But then sometimes the players are having fun, and it makes it hard for us to do our jobs. But I will tell you guys, a lot of fun is being had in this game. Is Chovy once again, ultimate just coming up. He's got an opportunity.
I don't know about this Hama Life. They do have a lot of members, though. 5 guys around the Rift Herald, as Peanut's here, looking for the steal. Not going to happen. He's trying to guard it right now, but again, Sion exists as well, so Dudu just walks in and get a nice little happy Pengu. That makes me happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty happy that we've accelerated the action this series. Because the first game was much slower than this. We're going to see a TPN from Chovy. They want to smash this turret. Don't know if they have enough minions to do it.
I'm guessing that Sion doesn't have much MR. Yeah.
Nope, he's got a Bramble Vest.
Total of basically whatever he gets for
his
levels.
Base stats, yeah.
Yeah. He
has to build this to lane against the Camille, but now he might want to consider a different path going forward.
Yeah, the game has been opened up. We're not really going to be playing around the lanes here unless Gen Z declare it, as in comes Chovy and deletes On Fleek again. I think Chovy has been upgraded to On Fleek's worst enemy now. It's no longer the ward.
No longer the ward as he goes again.
He's going in again. I don't know about this man, but he will be locked down and guarded by his teammates. They're just trying to get the president out alive, and he will not. He will be shut down by Samdi, who will take away the streak, and that is a lot of gold into the pockets of the Ezreal.
You know, Samdi, he is playing a good game. he is going to kill the turret plates, he's going to kill the bad guys, he's going to pick up all the money. Because he's getting the shutdown gold on Chovy, who was 8-1 before this moment and had a ton of more stacks of his Dark Seal than he does now. He picks up all that gold, he's picked up all the plate gold. Samdi is ready to carry this game, okay? Like, if we're going to talk narratives for a second and we're going to do some analytical points, like Samdi, we're looking for what could be the greatest Ezreal play of all time. But Chovy comes in here, then he decides to go in one more time. And that's when things get a little bit out of hand. As he goes for the Shadow Search on the Samdi, and Samdi gets his ultimate revenge. And when I mean ultimate revenge, I mean revenge literally with his ultimate, where he gets the shutdown here onto Chovy, because Chovy overextends a lot of CC. He feels like he got out. And like, you know, we had Doran blocking the Qs from the Ezreal and stuff, but
Escort the president.
big money in Samdi's pockets. He's got big shoes to fill here because he's going to have to be the one who carries this game now. This game is all about him versus Chovy. Look at his gold advantage, 2,000 over Ruler.
Yeah, it is pretty massive. Chovy has a larger gold advantage in the mid lane, but again, it's Ezreal. Ezreal with Karma especially, and that's why Chovy going in there a second time was the wrong decision, because he has the Arcane Shift available. He has the Karma
shield.
Inspire available. He has Summoners, right? Like, that was one step too far. And
Yep.
now, Samdi has taken one step into the driver's seat of this game. As
Ruler's dead. This is not really it's not a really winnable fight for Gen G.
Peanuts in the pit. It's going to come down to a smite fight. It will go the way of On Fleet, who picks up the first Infernal. Doran with the engage, but it's on a doo-doo. As Chovy goes in, they burst down the Scion. And they will be looking for a bit more. Ruler's on the top side alone, but look at Samdi. He's got a lot of room here. Laheng tries to get in, and that is a huge rocket that comes out from Ruler. Down will go Chovy, but it won't matter because Ruler is able to front to back. They take down Samdi.
It looked so good for Gen G once Ruler was the last man standing. Before that, Samdi has control. Onfleet gets out of here just fine. He'll finally be the last man standing in this team. But he had, when Chovy's ult comes through and all the health bars were low there for Gen G, it looks like, oh, okay, like Samdi actually wins this with HLE Esports. Ruler's pushed out. Because when you see Gen G's comp, its damage is in two parts, right? One part Chovy, one part Ruler, and Chovy's in the burst aspect of this. He does a ton of damage front-ended, but if he doesn't kill anybody when he goes in on these Shadow Surges, or is able to kill only a Scion, look at what happens next. If Ruler's out of position and cannot actually do the damage, this is not a winnable fight for Gen G, but he gets the kill, gets excited, gets the movement speed here with Peanut's help, and is able to come over and do that damage. There was on a knife's edge, though, that fight. If Ruler dies or is pushed away so far they can't actually get excited there, then they lose that fight. So still, again, a battle of the AD carries here. The fact that Chovy did enough damage to actually set up for Ruler to get that reset too is a big issue here. This is really just a battle of the carries, and AD carries in this fight, you know, about the positioning and everything that sets up there. Ruler just barely able to make it work, but he gets up a ton of extra gold he needs so desperately in this game, shoring up that advantage pretty significantly.
Yeah, it was some pretty intense Jinx gameplay that we did just see in that last fight. And Chovy, he actually got bullied a lot by Zombie Scion. He went in and killed the Scion, and then it was like, uh-oh, Zombie Scion's coming to get the revenge, you know? And it did an insane amount of damage. As ult versus ult, Ahri is going to feel pretty good about that as long as he can react on time, which Karis does this time.
Chovy just making Vex so terrifying because he's hiding and putting these ults out at angles you can't predict easily. But yeah, like you mentioned, Ahri can avoid it given enough reaction time, but he still minimized how much reaction time Karis had there by sending it through the jungle, showing Peanut first. This is a really exciting game because obviously HLE Esports are behind and Chovy's lead is almost unrecoverable from. But there are ways in these straight up front to back team fights if HLE Esports can handle Chovy's engage well, because now he doesn't have stopwatch anymore, for example. There are a lot of ways that if you kill Chovy on his dive in, and then Samdi actually has his way with Gen G's comp, like, it's definitely winnable, as we saw in that last fight. Yeah. Or if they can somehow engage on or charm Ruler, if Ruler's out of position or dies for any reason, definitely still winnable.
Yeah, it's so hard to play against HLE's comp because if you get hit by anything, especially a charm, they have such an insane amount of burst damage that you are probably going to lose your life. It doesn't matter who you are. The Nautilus, you know, not even that tanky at this point.
It clips Graves, you know?
Yeah, it's Lethality Graves, it's an Ahri, and it's a Fed Ezreal, so you're going to be feeling pretty good if you can catch someone. So Gen G are going to have to play extremely cautiously in this game.
Gen G are playing the better macro game right now, pulling resources towards the mid lane. Doran's trying to grab this turret. He will be able to escape without taking it down. But so much pressure here. Salisa is here as well, so OnFleek does not want to chase any deeper.
These top laners have been trying so hard to be relevant.
Yeah, it's trying so hard to do a thing. Doran's like, I want to do a thing. I want to kill some turrets.
He like does some really awesome drive-bys. I mean, he tanked up a lot of the damage in the front, and he did get some damage down with Zombie Scion, but other than that, I don't know.
Stop it! Okay, I died twice in the early game. It's not like, you know, that was my fault, but it's like not like I can't be relevant this game. And this is the moment, we always talk about this, especially Atlas and I were casting together. Like, Camille will be Camille later on in the game. Like, she's behind now, but she will be Camille. This is exactly that game. This is the game where Doran is like, well, I am Camille the champion, and I will occasionally try to threaten your turrets and then run away really fast if you try to come at me. And that's what he's doing in this game. That's his job. Because locking down Samdi is kind of not his job.
Ruler?
Ruler cannot die for any reason. I cannot overstress this. Like, if he dies, the team dies. No flash, no heal now.
Oh,
here we go.
This. They're trying to get on top of the flashless Jinx, and they will not. Actually, not yet, but the flash over the wall. In goes the Ahri, and Humble Life tear apart Gen G's backline.
That's Infernal Soul, not playable without a Jinx in this composition. Gen G, once again, thwarted by Ruler's overextension here. His positioning is too far forward. Here's a 1v1.
And double Zanyas, and one kill is going to be the way. Chovy says nope. And I believe that Karis actually channeled that after we saw Chovy's teleport. Kind of unfortunate for him.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. All right, Doran here.
Okay, one-on-one and one-on-one. Now joining forces down on the bottom side. Peanut and Doran still very dangerous, but Samdi is here, but the amount of mobility that is on these two champions is insane. Lehens is going to get slowed down by his arch nemesis, the Karma. The chase continues.
Yeah, unsealed spellbook, double-edged sword if you teleport into this one.
Yeah, Lehens is probably dead here. He is going to be slowed down once again, and unfortunately the Nautilus doesn't quite have as much mobility as these two guys.
Yeah, I mean, Karma is really showing her power here. You could chase so easily as Hound Life Esports, as Ruler forced to flash heal here. Well, I mean, I arguably didn't really need to heal there, but better safe than sorry. Summoner's down. And then OnFleek sees his opportunity. OnFleek has been so up and down this game. Goes in, smoke screens him. Dude who looks for the Q is interrupted by it's such a perfect ult from Lehens.
Yeah.
And then he just gets the kill there. So we're going to really go straight into this one.
It was at the same exact time.
Exact same time. Chovy hits the fear. And this is at the exact same time as well. But Ahri just, if she doesn't hit her charm, you don't win this 1v1 against an 8-kill Vex. Even if you do hit your charm, you're probably not going to win that one.
Yeah.
As Lehens teleports into this moment with his unsealed spell because they really wanted to turn this, but against the speed up that is the Karma, or the speed that the Karma has, like, you're never getting out of here.
Yeah, and the slows, and very obnoxious as in he goes again. Karis feared 100-0. Down goes the enemy mid laner.
He bought his Soul Stealer because he knows, okay, like, yes, I had a few hiccups there. I did die twice in some team fights, but now I can just eliminate Karis off the map every time I see him, every time I find him. Because Chovy, does he miss his Shadow Surges? No, he's not.
No.
And he will find opportunities like this when they have vision advantages. So it's really important for the vision to be removed here. We're going to watch this once again. Like, look at how far away he makes this happen. It's like, I'm going to look for this one more time. That doesn't say anything else. I'm going to try to kill him.
Just another day in the office here for Chovy.
Chovy in the interviews was like, well, the kill feed showed that I killed him, so I didn't need to say anything else after that.
I went in for the kill. I saw him, and then I got the kill.
Okay, this is, you know, unfortunately, Hound Life Esports way too far away from this Baron to even get power from this Ezreal.
If your shot barrage already down, already used, then they have zero vision in
no
here.
cross map to play either. This
I don't know. They might you know, they might suspect, but way, way too late, as Dudu had to get on in there. But if they were waiting on a brush, could have as easily have been an easy team fight win for Gen G, so they had to play it safely.
They're going to push down mid here and grab this inner turret, maybe try to get more, but with the Baron buff minions, Gen G should be able to pretty easily defend anything further. It's just going to be a reset, which means further vision and map control going over to Gen G. If you look at the Baron buff timer compared to this Infernal Soul timer, the Baron buff should allow Gen G to have basically guaranteed prio. With Chovy 4,100 gold in the lead, you can't be on wards like this ward that's randomly in the mid lane to see for Chovy so you can actually make plays like this. If you get caught by his ult, for strike value, if you get caught by Chovy's ult, as anybody on Life Esports, you die before this Drake fight, then Gen G, you know, just continue to take further of a lead. Life Esports is stuck in this awkward spot where they don't want to fight Gen G right now with this Baron buff. They don't have prio, but they need to close out this Infernal Soul before Gen G win the game. So they will be forced into this, I think.
We just had Duskblade picked up here by the Ezreal. Was wondering what was going to be the choice. You know, he could have gone into Crown, he could have gone into some other items here, but instead he's going for the, I'm going to try to carry this entire team fight by myself item.
It's Ezreal Yi, where he becomes Master Yi in a team fight.
And if he gets one shutdown, maybe he just kills the entire enemy team. It does mean that without Crown, potentially Chovy can just one-shot.
The other thing about Crown that's good against Gen G's comp is just the AP damage with his ultimate that he gets out of it. You know, I like both options here because the Duskblade, if he gets a kill on Chovy when Chovy engages, if he gets a Karma Shield as we've seen, then he gets that first Duskblade reset. So I think there's an argument to be made of both. But with a squishy lineup for Gen G, the extra lethality stats are going to be nice here too. You know, not an easy choice to make, but Samdi, he put the carry pants on. He's like, I am going to carry this game. This is all up to me now.
Certainly does extremely raise the value of armor against what Life have, because it's also lethality Graves, you remember. So, you know, you go for that. There's also the Black Cleaver on the Graves, so trying to help out that Ezreal a bit. Do like it in this case on Fleek, recognizing what position he is in. And yeah, we do have some armor items built. You know, the Camille has a chain vest at least. We do have a Zonya's built, but you know, Nautilus has got a bit. But other than that, not too much on the side of Gen G.
Yeah, on Fleek here has so much damage. Peanut needs to be careful. He gets rooted there. It's a different story. Oh, that's a miss. I said he doesn't miss, but he did this time. That's a huge window here for Life Esports to look for a chase with this Karma.
Yeah.
Push Gen G out. Baron buff fading. Life Esports now unchained on the map.
Here we go. They're going to pull the trigger. They want to get on top of Lehens here. He is able to buffer it, and, well, he's going to have to flash. As Dudu does take a huge amount of damage, has to flash the dredge line as well.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed it out, like, the second I say, okay, they're unleashed, they're going in, like, they ult, they go for the chase, they see Lehens, who's lagging behind once again on this Nautilus, very slow champion, not able to pull him off. Getting his flash not that significant here either because he does have Hex Flash, and then the turn means Dudu loses his flash in turn. And Life Esports, like, during this window of time, you have to decide where you want to be on the map because you have this tiny window, you got an advantage, and they're just a little bit indecisive. Doran will teleport in here, is seen. If you push all of your eggs into the Baron buff basket up here on the top side, by the time Gen G respawn, they can contest that, and Baron is so far away anyways. I would have really liked to see Life Esports split up and try to get a little bit more map control in mid and bottom.
He's calling for his allies. Dudu is a little bit too far up the lane. This is a Camille, and Chovy's here. Peanut's here. They're going to try to burst down the Scion. Can they actually do it? The damage not quite there, and finally the Rocket will take him down. And Zombie Scion this time not quite getting the same value.
Taking out the Scion is so massive, there's not a great front line here anymore for Life.
Oh, he's going all the way in, and the Zonyas is here for Zombie, but same for Chovy. Can anyone follow him? He's just going to flash and meander his way out of the base, and nobody on Life can punish that.
There's no way to get in there. Doran's extremely low, though. There you go. Now you got a chase potential here.
Oh, Ruler's getting pretty low. The poke is coming down. The True Shot Barrage is predictable. Samdi is going in. Peanut trying to kick him away. Nearly takes him out, but Samdi will live.
Doran into the chompers here.
What is going on in this game?
Get away. I thought he was landing on chompers. It's his teammates. They expired as he goes in. Cars picks up Deathcap. He wants Samdi here, but Samdi's a ranged champion. He's happy to take this fight. Doran's got to get out of here. Vista on the chase. And he speeds up. Ooh. Oh my god. He did get hit by it, but he survives just barely. Doran is also going to back. This game is insane. Baron should be coming up here shortly. This all starts off with an attempt to kill Dudu, right? And this is fine. You have the Shadow Surge available. You can kill this Scion very quickly. And even though Karis comes back over, they outplay him and avoid him. Doran takes some damage. That's okay. What happens next is where things get a little bit hairy for Gen G, because they decide to go on to Samdi, who has Stopwatch, which is now burned, so successful attempt there. The risk is so insanely high here for Gen G and Chovy, though, who's doing a little bit of showing off, as he deserves to be with the lead he has in this game. But if he dies here, Samdi gets that first reset, you might get wiped, you lose Baron, and HLE Esports are in control of the game. They still take out Lehens. That's the best they could do, as this just ends up being a mechanical showcase from both teams in the last moments of this. But the point still stands, lead or no, the risky play Gen G makes, they get away with it, but there was such a huge margin of error. And if they end up losing Chovy there, and Samdi gets those resets and pushes forward, they no longer in control, no longer on this Baron right now. Oh boy.
Here we go again. This time, HLE know. They know 100%, and Lehens has been the unfortunate guy, but Doran gets a huge flank into the backside. Samdi is in there. The rocket's going to hit him. The GA is now down. And Chovy's alive, Ruler's alive, and Chovy's looking for more. In the backside, he's going to have to go into the Zhonya's. And Samdi's still alive, though. He's going to be able to take out one. And Master Ezreal is trying to reset this one.
You've got to be so careful in this game of engaging on the Ezreal. He will not die. He has so many tools. I mean, honestly, at this point, like, your GA's on such a long cooldown, maybe you want to consider buying a Zhonya's. But the GA, like, how many games of League of Legends does GA actually get value? Very rarely. Usually if you're picked as the AD carry, the team fight is over and it doesn't matter. But in this case, he's picked by a long-range Jinx rocket, but there's no follow-up because Karis' positioning is so perfect. He blocks the rest of Gen G from rotating in. They cannot actually get on top of this guy, yet they still try. Zombie Scion takes out Lehens, and they've got a nice lead. This should be Infernal Soul.
Oh boy.
Nothing Gen G can do about this, and HLE Esports suddenly on the back of this Ezreal player back in the game.
You can see that HLE are fine. They're like, you can take Baron, we don't really care, but we do have a Scion coming in, just trying to thwart them in case they decide to, well, he's just going to do a little bit of a drive-by, and nobody on the side of Gen G is going for this. But it's a trade that HLE will take because the Baron will eventually fade, and they can stave it off. I mean, Samdi's super fed, Karis is getting fed, Onfleet can help with the wave clear. They can stave it off, they can wait, and then they have Infernal Soul for every fight in the future alongside of 3 Infernal Drakes.
Some patience in some hubris, I mean, some real honest safe plays from Gen G, sitting back and winning the game they've already locked up, I think is the way to close this one out, because you don't absolutely have to just instantly faceplant on the Ezreal. It's Lehens, man, he is the brunt of all damage this game. But if you go in like that, you know, after your Baron turn and GA's up, like, you lose that one. You've got to play it slower. Let the Ezreal come to you, maybe front to back the Scion, get the Jinx excited.
Gen G need to get value out of this. They are just going all in onto Samdi once again, and it's perfect! They get onto the backside. Toby's able to get in there, but Karis is still alive. He is able to stop Doran from getting too much more.
Inhibitors up, and Gen G, they're going to really shut down this Baron buff, but they're not going to be able to get much else from here. Now this time, Samdi did not have a Zhonya's. This time, he did not have his GA available.
GA's gone, by the way.
He did sell the GA, as I was alluding to earlier. So this time, you know, he is picked, and Gen G win the fight, quote unquote. Can't push the issue any further. Doran and Peanut are dead. And you need the Jinx in this fight in the long term to actually be able to win the follow-up. If you spend everything on this all-in, then where is the follow-up? Look at where Ruler is compared to the front line of Gen G. There's a turret here. And Gen G are, I mean, in still control of this game, still have a massive gold lead. 4,000, it's shrinking every time these fights happen. The kill difference also shrinking quite significantly. We were at, what, like 8-1
yeah.
30 minutes ago, and now here we are. So bit more patience, a little bit of a slower gameplay here would be advised. And normally we don't suggest that for Gen G, especially last year. We're like, please speed it up, you know, take that 8,000 gold lead and shove it into the enemy Nexus.
Yeah.
But in this game, I think a little bit more patience is going to go a long way. Yes, they killed the Ezreal, but maybe wait a few more seconds to do that, wait till that turret's down, then kill the Ezreal, then win the game. That's my advice. That's my take on this. Still a very winnable game for Gen G, but it was a much more winnable one before this.
I would agree with you. Now, Samdi, he did go for a Ravenous Hydra as his 5th item after selling the GA, so he doesn't go into the Zhonya's. He does not have as much survivability, of course. He gains some more damage. He's got some wave clear, stuff like this from the replacement. But I would have liked the Zhonya's as well, because they have so much hard engage, right? And if you just survive for a little bit longer, Karus is going to do damage, On Fleek's going to do damage, you have a lot more peel that can come in. But instead, you're kind of banking on
AoE damage in this fight.
I'm an Ezreal, so I'm just not going to get that caught, and I'll have Flash for the next fight, so maybe if Doran tries to engage onto me, I can Arcane Shift and Flash, and then I should have enough peel, but it's a risk that he has decided to take.
It also gives you an insane amount of wave clear, obviously, which Ezreal already kind of has in spades, but if you have this item, you can get prio, and every time Gen G try to reset, for example, you can put some more pressure on the lanes. Getting mid prio for this Elder is super critical, so I think that is definitely part of why he decided to build this. Again, I made my opinion clear, you've made yours now as you're in agreement with me, but either way, he's chosen the same path. I mean, we talked about the survivability options he could have had with the Mythic, right? He could have gone for the crown. He decided to put the carry pants on and take the Duskblade. So now, you know, he's carrying, right? Like, he is actually winning these fights for his team. And it's all going to come down to one Elder fight. Doran should be fine here.
Yes. I swear I can hear Chronicler screaming in the background when you said just one Elder fight. We'll see if it comes down to just the one and how flippy it gets exactly. That's not going to feel very good. Chovy will be fine. He can just back out, and he'll be ready for the Elder fight / flip, depending on the way it does go.
Yep. Buying a Void Staff outright as his final item here going into this one. Going to help him eat through that Cyan health bar a lot better, a lot faster. Cyan's got the Force of Nature now completed, so extremely relevant. Also has a stopwatch, as does Graves.
He doesn't have any boots.
Yeah.
Just Chovy.
Yeah, he got rid of them. He sold his Sork shoes for this. Just wanted more Magic Pen. He's like, I'm not really doing... he's like, the only movement I'm doing is when I press my ult a second time and go on top of the character that I'm trying to kill, in this case, Samdi. So, doesn't really need boots, no boots required. This is a crazy game, fellas, and this team fight is going to be one for the ages, okay? Because this is, we've got everything. 41 minutes into this game, almost everybody is full build.
Good to see Doran abusing that side lane.
Yeah.
Says, Life, they just want to stay together and protect Samdi, right? And protect Karus, but I'm a Camille. I can just sit here, I can just do this.
Dudu has teleport, so, you know, he comes over here, the rest is rotating over.
Doran is doing so well with this. You can see Life just kind of shaking. You know, they're not really sure which direction to go. Now Doran's going to go to the top lane.
All right, they've just got to force the fight. They've just got to start this.
Yeah.
Chovy on the back angle. They do not have vision of him whatsoever at all. Samdi's at the front.
And Doran has TP. How will they engage onto this one? The TP comes in the front. On Fleek is halfway dead, as Dudu will block a lot of the poke, though. Peanut in the pit. They're looking to turn onto the Elder. We're going for the flip, but the hook goes onto the Scion, and the Elder is taken by Gen G. They get it, and they should be able to take this fight. On Fleek goes down. Samdi gets hit by the Shadow Surge, and that is all she wrote. As after you get hit by that, you are not getting away from Chovy. The triple comes in, and Gen G will finally take this insane game.
What an insane game. You know, Chovy had such a massive lead, 10 kills early on, and Samdi fighting back each and every step of the way. Pretty bold attempt here from Life Esports, but they will go down 0-2. Will be the third team eliminated from playoffs here tonight at the LCK. Valiant attempt, but it's not enough in the end. Gen G continuing the win streak here very firmly in second place, but this game had a little bit of everything, and there were moments with this Ezreal picking up all those plates